Hello, this is English 4, Unit number 12, Looking Ahead. Grammar, Will, Predictions and Future Plans by teacher wvinueza. Objectives. In this video, I'm going to introduce the topic with a reading activity. Then we're going to review the grammar about the use of will in the future tense. And third, we're going to practice the pronunciation of the short form of will, ill. Before we read, let's answer this question. What are your plans for next year? Have you thought about that? I think you should. You should plan in advance. In my case, I hope I'll be able to travel abroad. I would like to visit my family in Barbados. Let's check some people's plans, and then you will have to match each plan with the appropriate picture. The first one. We're going to have a baby in March, so both of us will probably take some time off from work. I'm sure the baby will keep us both very busy. So notice here, we're using the present continuous. We're going to have a baby for already made plans. You cannot change that. And here is the probability. We'll probably take some time off from work. Second plan. Well, I'm graduating from college next June, so I guess I'll look for a job. I know it won't be easy to find one, so I may go on for a master's degree. We'll see. Okay, so here we're using the short form of will. We'll see. It won't be easy. We're using the negative form. And here we're also using the short form I'll look. And also I guess to show that it's a probability. The last one, I'm going to retire. I'll be 65 in June, and my wife's already retired. So we'll probably move to Florida in the fall, or maybe in Arizona. We're not going to spend another winter here, that's for sure. So I'll be 65. Notice here that we use will to talk about the age, and will probably, probability, maybe also for probability. And we're not going to spend another winter here. Here we're using the present continuous because this is an already made plan. Okay, now let's check the pictures. Okay, so for the first reading, we're going to have a baby in March. What do you think is the picture? I think you know already. Very good. Okay, this is the happy couple with the dog and the woman that is pregnant. The second plan, I'm graduating for college, so you can see a student that is getting ready to graduate. And the third one, I'm going to retire. Remember that retire means in Spanish jubilarse, no retirarse de algún lugar, sino jubilarse. Okay, so with this introduction, let's continue with the next activity. Grammar. We're going to use will for predictions and for future plans. So check this timeline, okay? First, we're going to check will negative. I'm sure negative. We use will plus not, and the short form is want. We're going to use these when you are 100% sure that something is not going to happen, okay? That's when we use will negative. For example, it is summer, okay? It won't snow. If you're so sure about this, you can use won't. 100% sure when it is going to happen. This is the opposite. I'm sure. It is an affirmative sentence. You can use will or the short form ill. And an example, it is winter. It will rain soon. So in winter, you know that we have a lot of rain. And 50% of probability. It means that you are not sure. We can use will probably or the modal verbs may and might. Let's check some examples. People People will probably have less free time in the future. Here we're using will probably. Or people may have less free time in the future. May plus the verb. People might have less time in the future. Might plus the verb have. Okay, so here you have affirmative sentences with will. It will rain soon. Affirmative sentence. Negative sentence. It won't snow. And now let's check the question. How we make an interrogative sentence in English. First, we have to use will. Will people have less free time in the future? And the short answers will also use will. Yes, they will, and no, they won't. Now let's do some exercises. Put the verbs into the correct form. Use will. So in this example, Jim asked a fortune teller about his future. Here is what she told him. The first one, you will earn a lot of money. Before you continue, please write your answers in a piece of paper. You can stop the video, do your work, and then play it again to see if you got the right answers. Okay, now we're going to see what the fortune teller told Jim. So she told him, you will earn a lot of money, you will travel around the world, you will meet lots of interesting people, everybody will adore you, you won't have any problems, many people will serve you, they will anticipate your wishes, there won't be anything left to wish for, everything will be perfect, but all these things will only happen if you marry me. So the fortune teller wanted Jim to marry her. So this is a good example of predictions in the future. Now we're going to talk about the keyword will and other uses that we can give to this word. We can use will for predictions and guesses. In the first example about the fortune teller, we talk about predictions. Now let's check an example about guesses. He'll be 25 on January, I think. So if you don't know the age of someone, you can use will to try to guess. For offers, I carry the bags for you. So here, if you see someone that has a lot of bags, you can offer to help. Telling this, I'll carry the bags for you. For promises, I will pay you next month. Okay? Another promise that is common is, I will love you my whole life. Try to not break your promises. And finally, for request, if you go to a restaurant, you can use will to order your food or your drinks. I will have a coffee, please. So here we're using will for request. Something for you that is really important to know. Common errors. Don't use can for predictions. In this case, you have to use may or might. So it's going to be wrong if you say, I can go away for vacation. Can in this case is wrong. You have to say, I may go away for vacation. Avoid. Avoid will to talk about plans or decisions already made. If you want to talk about that, you need to use the present continuous or the be going to. It will be wrong if you say, I will go to Europe next year. I will visit Paris, because you're supposed to plan this in advance. It's going to be right if you say, I'm going to Europe next year. You're using the present continuous. I'm going to visit Paris. Remember, you can also use will with expressions like I guess, I think, maybe, and probably. Let's check some examples. Maybe we'll move to Arizona. I think we'll move to Arizona. I guess we'll move to Arizona. So in this case, we have the same example with three different words or expressions, maybe, I think, and I guess. Speaking naturally. Reduction of will. Listen and repeat the questions above. Practice the reduction of will. Do you think? Do you think your best friend will always be your friend? Do you think the teacher will be a millionaire someday? Do you think your parents will ever move to another city? Do you think all your friends will have children? Do you think anyone in the class will be famous someday?
Page 119. 3. Speaking naturally. Reduction of will. A. Listen and repeat the questions above. Practice the reduction of will to ul.
Do you think your best friend will always be your friend?
Do you think the teacher will be a millionaire someday?
Do you think your parents will ever move to another city?
Do you think all your friends will have children?
Do you think anyone in the class will be famous someday?
More practice. Circle the correct option in the conversation below. Compare and practice in groups. Okay? So in this example, you can also stop the video, write your answers, and then you check. Okay, so here we have two dialogues. Dialogue number 1. What are you going to do at the end of this course? I'm not sure. I guess you have to choose between I take or I'll take another course. So in this case, as we're using I guess, we have to use future. I'll take another course. I don't know. I'm going to or I may travel abroad. I may. With my brother, he thinks his classes might finish early this year, so we might or will be able to. We might go in May. Dialogue number 2. Are your friends going away for vacation next summer? Well, they are all going to do different things. One friend is going to Istanbul. I love to go too, but I don't know. I might not be able to afford it. 4 of my friends will be 21, so we are having a big party. It's going to be fun. So, thank you very much for your attention, and don't forget the use of will, may, and might to talk about um, possibilities and predictions in the future. See you in the next video. Bye bye.